our guys played really, really hard. I thought for the better part of 40, but especially the last 15 or so, showed incredible fight while we're down big. It could have gotten really ugly the way that we were executing offensively. But we created some turnovers. We got out in the open floor and made it interesting there for a little bit.
And Coach, getting back to those first 25 minutes again, you said that you've been having some struggles, I guess, in practice. But overall, did that surprise you a lot that it kind of happened like it did?
Offensively, Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, honestly, I thought we'd be better offensively tonight. That said, we probably would have had a little bit more rhythm with M.A. Moncrief having played, who's one of our best players, of course, and one of the reasons we kind of revamped what we were doing a little bit. Started a freshman, got a bunch of new guys. That said, Wake's got new guys too. They executed better than us, shot it better than us. I do think early on we had some possessions, Dash, where we missed some open ones, and I just feel like we played rattled the last 10 minutes of the first half, maybe even 12 or 14. Our confidence level dropped. We were hesitant with passing up open ones, and then we took a couple really bad ones. Again, ball security, whether it was with guards or front court guys that weren't strong enough with the ball in the interior, has got to improve for us. As we continue to struggle with turnovers.
Appreciate it.
Mike, what were your thoughts on the defensive end tonight? What were some of the issues and overall the play of your bigs?
Wow, defensively we got spread out. I thought Appleby was terrific. And give those guys a lot of credit. They've got a really good overall passing team, and they've got size and length with their ability to complement that passing. They've got really good passers who happen to be a lot of times 6'8", 6'10", whipping that ball around the perimeter. They've got speedy guards. We were trying to change defenses a lot, and our lack of communication, our communication level overall was not as crisp as it needs to be to defend a team like this. We zone pressed them. We showed some different looks, baseline and sideline out of bounds. With Frank, we tried to switch on the ball and off the ball at different times, and we're just not quite crisp enough with those defensive changes this early in the season. Hopefully we can improve in those areas.
Mike, it seemed like in that second half that Drez really kind of got things going, and especially shooting from three. Just how big was he, and what were your thoughts on how he played tonight?
Yeah, he's got, and I'm gonna tell him this, he's got to be a guy that plays with that level of swagger. Because we don't have much offensive swagger right now. I'm sure everyone watching us would agree with that. Kyron Lindsey made some plays. I say that. Terry down the stretch made some plays. Cario did, to make it interesting. Braylon early game, on a couple touches, played with some confidence. Jason hit a big shot. Justin did some things, but we need more confidence, swagger, poise, throughout all those words. Playing with detail, but less emotional offensively, just overall. But that said, Drez, for whatever reason, maybe he was the first one going down, and that can't be the case. I'm proud of him. He played well, of course, but he's got to be a guy, and we've got to have a few of these where we show up and we play with that level of confidence and certainty, whether we've made one or not, as opposed to one goes in for us and then all of a sudden, we feel better about ourselves because he's a good player. And this was good for him because this was his best outing as a Bulldog, and this will be good for us hopefully moving forward where he found a little bit of rhythm.
Mike, you said that you didn't feel like you were crisp with the defenses. It kind of looked, was it a 2-2-1 that kind of got things going though? It looked like you had some success with that. Is that going to be something we're going to see more of down the line?
Just depending on the scout and our development with it. We really, Mike, at that point, we had no choice. It was a 2-2-1 that converted to some man. We were denying certain players, and then, later we we put out a man press and did some jumping and trapping, and there's some things we did really well, and some things that we butchered a little bit, in terms of taking those fouls, and we took I believe 3 of them, and then we took one that we probably shouldn't have taken on a dead ball, and then we had a couple situations where we could have jumped and trapped without fouling, and we ended up fouling, and then we ended up fouling one late clock where at that point we've got to let 10-12 seconds on the shot clock, and those are things early in the season I'm sure a lot of us are struggling with right now, but defensively overall in the half court, we're better than that. We've just been better than that to this point. This was surprising. Credit Wake. We're on the road, ACC. Some of it is just, some of it's mental toughness. Some of it is, they run the same thing in the first half, and you're really crisp, and the score is really close, and you're fresh, and you're energized, and you guard the heck out of it. And then you find yourself down 12, and you're winded, and it might be the same look, and you're just not quite as sharp. The communication not quite as sharp, and in our guys' defense too, we are switching a lot, and because they stretch you so much at multiple positions. They played some lineups where all 5 guys shoot the 3, of course. It forced us to do a lot of switching, and we're putting our bigs in positions that they haven't had a lot of experience to at this point in their college careers, in Frank Anselm and Braylon Bridges, where they're out there on the perimeter, and now they've got perimeter responsibilities in addition to guarding the ball, being in the gap and rotating, to drivers. And then we've got guards in there fighting with bigs. And again, so it starts with, again, the prowess of Wake and their ability to shoot it from deep at multiple spots.
Any other questions for Coach?
Yeah, Mike, what is the latest on MA right now?
Just swollen ankle is all I know. He hasn't done anything since the first half of our last game.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.